The first guided tasting I attended was for Glenfiddich. It was led by Beth, the Canadian brand ambassador, as part of a Women in Whiskey event at the Caledonian here in Toronto. That evening, we sampled Glenfiddich 12, 15, and 18. Knowing absolutely nothing about whiskey at the time, I naturally expected the 18 to be quote-unquote the best. I learned my first lesson in whiskey tasting that night, that age is only one part of the equation. This episode is all about the whiskey that opened my mind, the Glenfiddich 15.
The distillery itself was established 128 years ago on Christmas Day. It was our founder, William Grant, who decided at the time, he was working at another distillery, decided to leave his job and open his own distillery, and with the help of his 9 children and his wife, was successful in doing so. Since then, we've gone through 5 generations of family ownership. We did establish the single malt category back in 1963. So up until that time, there was no exported single malts available on a global scale. So Sandy Grant, Gordon, who was one of the family members, decided to take a chance and start exporting. And obviously to this day, we know that single malts are quite popular, so he was successful in his venture. But because of that, I think that marked part of their success. The other thing is, because of the family ownership, we are quite pioneering, so we do a lot of things a little bit differently. We're willing to take chances, and because of that, we have a great range of whiskey. Over the years, we've also established ourselves as being the most awarded single malt, and that's something also that we're quite proud of.
At the time when Glenfiddich came out with that single malt, it was in an era where blends were the standard.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was considered a little risky to come out with a single malt at that time.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the family nature. You know, they are risk takers and they're willing to take a chance, and it's something that they can be proud of, because obviously they've been successful in doing so. But I'm sure at the time it was kind of a nerve-wracking thing, right? What am I doing? Yeah, so we use our Solera vat when blending the 3 different types of casks that go into making Glenfiddich 15 together. So Glenfiddich 15 is comprised of casks that have been, or whiskey that have been aged in bourbon, sherry, and new oak casks. We then take all 3 different types of casks and we put them together in our Solera vat. The Solera vat itself holds about 35,000 liters worth of liquid, so it's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful sight. But every time we go to empty it, we only empty it halfway. So doing so, we're able to create a great consistency, but also I always say that our 15-year-old is quite a mature 15-year-old. It's something that, there's some whiskeys in there that literally have not been able to escape. But the extra kind of source of pride that we have in the 15-year-old here in Canada is the fact that $2 from the sale of every bottle goes to Wounded Warriors Canada. And that partnership with them started in 2012. And since then, we've been successful in raising over $425,000. So they're a fantastic organization, and all the money that we raise goes directly to supporting a program called Camp Praxis, which is an equine-based therapy program that Wounded Warriors has been affiliated with for many years now. So it's a delicious whiskey. It's by far my favorite, my everyday go-to dram. But also, I think here in Canada we can feel good while drinking it, because we are essentially giving back to a really great cause.
It's a feel-good whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not necessarily the age of the whiskey. It's definitely the type of casks that have been used. When we're speaking about Balvenies, the different finishes that they have. those really make a big impact on the actual flavor. So age doesn't necessarily matter. It's your personal taste that's going to dictate what whiskey you're going to like the best.
If you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below. Share with your friends and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.